Hi, this is Eddie from Big Ed's Barbecue in Waukegan, Illinois, and you are listening to the Geekcast Radio Network, sucker.
Hey, it's Mistress Carrie, and you are listening to Studio 2009.
Hello, my name's Axel Foley. I'm looking for Billy Rosewood.
Welcome to the Beverly Hills Police Department. To continue this message in English, press 1 pound. For Spanish, press 2 star. For Farsi, press 3 pound. If you have homeless people on your lawn, press 15. If you need the Riot Rumor hotline, press 17.
Hey! Which button for Billy Rosewood?
Bonjour. Bienvenue au département de la police de Beverly Hills. Pour continuer ce message en anglais, composez le 1 dièse. Pour espagnol, composez le 2 étoile.
Moi, le Rosewood.
Composez le 3 dièse.
Monsieur Thibault, le crayon, la table.
D'alarme personnelle, composez le 12. Si vous avez des vagabonds sur votre pelouse, composez le 15. Si vous avez besoin du numéro spécial pour la rumeur d'esprit.
Come in. It's open.
Axel Foley?
Billy, how you doing, man?
I don't believe it.
There's nothing wrong with your podcast player. Do not attempt to adjust the volume.
Hello and welcome back into our studio. You are now inside Studio 2009, only on the Geekcast Radio Network. I'm, of course, TFG1Mike. Joining me once again is Steve Megatron. Hello, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm here. I think I need robot parts at this point, but I'm here. Today we are continuing our Eddie Murphy look back into the past as we head back to 31 years ago in 1994 with Beverly Hills Cop 3, which was released May 25th, 1994. So it was released on Star Wars Day, quote unquote. Oh God. And yeah, so what prompted this, besides the Being Eddie thing, as of this recording, the review is out, the written review is out now, but in January of this year, La La Land Records released the soundtrack score to Beverly Hills Cop 3, and we will talk about this later, but that's what, between Being Eddie, the Netflix documentary, which you all would have heard in the previous episode of the podcast, you heard us talk about that, between that and this score finally getting released after 31 years, there was a soundtrack album of 10 tracks that got released back in the day when the film came out. It was mostly the R&B songs that had gotten released from the movie, not the actual instrumentals from Mr. Nile Rogers, who composed the music for the third film. But yeah, between La La Land Records releasing that in January, the Being Eddie documentary, and the fact that we have never done a single separate episode for the third film, which I wanted to do last year, but I've said before and I'll say it again, 2024 and 2025 have been a couple of the most difficult years for me lately. But yeah, so we're here, Beverly Hills Cop 3. Just the Facts, as I already mentioned, was released May 25th, 1994. And this movie really gets a bad rap from pretty much everybody. And one of my sticking points on it is that somebody said that it doesn't have high enough stakes compared to the first two films. In the first film, Axel's friend gets murdered and he has to go out to Beverly Hills to avenge him. In the second film, Captain Bogomil, who was also Axel's friend, gets murdered and he has to go out to Beverly Hills to avenge him. And in this third film, Chief Inspector, Captain, or whatever, Inspector Todd gets murdered, but then the focus turns to Uncle Dave. And my first thought is, when I read this in the Wikipedia article, I'm like, are you kidding me? Okay, yes, technically, Axel out there having to save Uncle Dave is part of the plot, but Axel Foley's motives for going after Ellis DeWald, look at that scene. When he goes to the policeman's ball and everyone's clapping, and then all of a sudden he starts doing Ellis DeWald. He starts doing the over-exaggerated clapping, and he goes up to him, and they're arm in arm, and he whispers to him, and Ellis whispers back to him, and I'm going to say the line, folks, I'm sorry if your proclivities don't like this, but it's the line that's in the movie. Ellis says arm in arm as they're kind of basically, head locking each other.
What are you going to do, Axel?
I'm not going to do nothing. I just want to hear the man speak. Ellis DeWald! Ellis DeWald!
Go on, smile. Let's get them last few smiles in.
Yeah, what's the matter, Foley? You mad at me for shooting your boyfriend?
Like, that's Axel's main not programming. That's his main thing for going after Ellis DeWald, is getting revenge or getting justice for Inspector Todd. Yes, it's a bonus having to save Uncle Dave, but I've never looked at this movie thinking that the whole motive for Axel is to just save Uncle Dave. And the way that they explained it in the Wikipedia article, I'm like, because they say in the Wikipedia article that the third film doesn't have a more villainous villain than the first two did. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, yeah, kind of. Ellis isn't as villainous as Max was, or as Bridget, as the tall blonde was in the second one, because Max was the gun runner who ran the guns with Thermopolis in the second one, and then you had Victor Maitland in the first one. But I mean, I don't know. Point is, this movie gets a really bad rap, and I think some people misunderstood some of the motives as to why Axel is going after Ellis DeWald. I still, 31 years later, I was 14 when this movie came out. I still love this movie. It's not up until we got the fourth movie, when we only had the trilogy, this is my least favorite of the three. If I was going to rank them, it would be 2, 1, 3 for me, because Beverly Hills Cop 2 is my favorite of the three. But this is not a bad movie at all.
No, and it's funny because I was reading I always enjoyed it. I don't know. I don't know why I enjoyed this one more than per se. Like, I liked the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, I remember enough about it, but at the same time, I forget a lot about it, if that makes any sense. Like, I remember the end, but like the beginning, I'm kind of like, a lot of it, it's very fuzzy for me until I get towards the end. And then I remember more about this film, probably because I grew up with it and it just sticks better.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, like the fourth movie is just great all the way around.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's wholly unsatisfying. I think they were expecting something different than what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, to be quite honest, like even when we were doing the Die Hard movies, I think that when they start getting to the threequel, I think that's usually the time to stop anyway. But it wasn't a bad movie. Like, I would rather watch this than quite a few other sequels during the 90s.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Like,
and I love Eddie Murphy stuff. Like, I can watch Die Hard. Die Hard 2, I would rather not watch. Like, I'd watch 1, 3, 4, and then if I had to, I'd watch the second one. And then the fifth one. What is the fifth one?
It doesn't exist. The fifth one.
It's like
doesn't
Teen Titans.
exist.
It's not in continuity.
Exactly.
I had to pull that one out of the mothballs.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, and 3, I genuinely enjoyed, and then I enjoyed the fourth one. And I find it funny that all of the top critics, like, it got on Rotten Tomatoes, it got 11% on the tomato meter, like completely rotten, and then 35% for the popcorn meter for the fans. And on Letterboxd, it got, out of the thousands that have watched it, it got a lot of 2 stars or 3.5.
Yeah.
And I think, and I get it, like, if it's not your cup of tea, like, you're gonna bash it. I mean, we do it all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't think it deserves like a 2 or an 11%. Like,
no,
I'd probably put it, 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
3.5 out of 5. Like, nothing to write home about, but it's not terrible either. Like, and yeah, I know that they changed and got Hector Elizondo,
Yeah, so Taggart did not come back. John Ashton did not come back for the third movie. They got Hector Elizondo to play John Flint, or whatever his name was, and that's
John
fine.
Flint. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad.
No.
It was enjoyable, and I like the actor. It's not Taggart, and it was better having him in the fourth one.
Yeah,
but
absolutely,
this wasn't. I mean, it. This is really the last time we get, Judge Reinhold 2 in an actual real capacity. Like, the fourth one, he's just kind of there.
Yeah, he's there. I mean, he doesn't really.
So,
yeah.
Now, it's funny because they have the critics of, like, Detroit Free Press. They give it, 2 out of 4. Then they had somebody from Chicago Tribune, 1 out of 4.
Yeah.
Empire Magazine, 1 out of 5. A Movie Mania site, 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
It just kind of goes.
Yeah.
Somebody else put the Post New Zealand puts one of the worst action movies of the 90s. Like, come on, man, that's not bad.
No.
Okay,
so
like,
no. Okay,
it could have been like Mortal Kombat or something.
Yeah, but even Mortal Kombat is good for what it is. For the cheat, and we're gonna get to that. I'm gonna end up. I don't know if it's gonna be, if you want to be on it or whoever wants to. I'm probably gonna do a 30th anniversary of Mortal Kombat episode. I'm gonna make room in the schedule for that. But anyway, the point is that Beverly Hills Cop 3, one of the worst action movies of the 90s. Are you kidding me? If you're basing that on the story, maybe the story's a little flimsy, but it really isn't. It's basically, you start out with Axel and his other, like, he's a detective, or he, whatever rank he is. Let's just say he's a high ranking detective in the Detroit Police Department, because I don't know what his actual, they didn't specifically say, like, we know he's not a lieutenant, we know he's not a sergeant. They didn't say, they just said detective, whatever. And then he's got all these other guys around him, and they're going over these plans or whatever. He's like, all right, y'all know this shit, y'all got this shit, let's go get this shit done. And then Lieutenant Inspector Todd shows up, and he's like, I'm just here to observe, and I'm just here to do this, this, and this. And they all go in, and they all break up the Supremes and all the old fat white guys in the chop shop with a couple other guys, and dancing and singing and blah, blah, blah. And then Ellis DeWald and his guys come in there and basically take over the place, and they didn't realize, oh my God, this chop shop, they have machine guns, yada, 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 yada. Todd gets killed by Ellis DeWald, and that scene has haunted me for 31 years. That is some of Eddie Murphy's best acting, is that shock face. When you see, it's one of the cold, I don't know how anyone says that this is a bad movie. The scene where Ellis pulls up in the car, shoots Todd, like when he when it's framed through the car window and he's pointing the gun, shoots Todd again, and you see Eddie's face opposite, and he just drops his gun. He's like, "Boss, no," or whatever it is that his line is. I forget what the line is, but you just see his face just shock. Look, it's overall out of the three, because I'm not counting this against the fourth yet, because whatever. But when we had it just as the trilogy, is it the best out of the three? No. But it's not a bad movie on its. Honestly, this could have been any other 90s action cop film. It didn't have to be Beverly Hills Cop 3. I'm glad it is Beverly Hills Cop 3, but looking at the way this plot is set up, it's set up to just say, hey, we're going to drop you into the life and times of Axel Foley, and this is where he is now. And this actually takes place, I love how they did this, takes place 7 years after the events of the second film. Quite literally, the math on that, 1987 plus 7 is 94. I love when they do the timeline of mathing the years in real time, real life years, 87 to 94. I love when movies do that. I don't know how many movies actually do that anymore, but I love when that shit happens. So, yeah, does this movie have a couple of issues? Yeah, it's mostly inside Wonderworld. Those Wonderworld scenes, some of them, I wanted to bring this up with you because I'm an only child and I don't have siblings. You do. The scene where Axel has to dress up as Oki. And you got the one younger brother and the one older brother. And it's right between the two ages of the younger brother wanting to see the character do the dance and blah, blah, blah. And the older brother, that's not how the dance is supposed to be done. This is how it's supposed to be done, you dumb. And the older brother kicks him or hits him or hits the character, which you're not supposed to do. Did you guys ever do? Please tell me you did not ever do that if you guys ever went to like Disney or stuff like that.
I didn't go to Disney until I was a grown man. Yeah,
but
my brothers and I, we never went to any of these kind of things. We went to Universal Studios during the time they had like the Marvel stuff.
Okay.
Way back when, but I mean that was, I don't remember enough of any of that, but we were always polite. Like we weren't little dirt bags.
Yeah. I think one of the reasons why I'm so glad we have the soundtrack now from La La Land Records is because, and this is just me being the soundtrack music nerd that I am, the Axel saves the kids, which is the spider scene where he has to jump on the spider to save the kids. That music, I have wanted that music outside, and now we have it as one of the tracks on the. Oh man, just listen. That is one of my favorite tracks off this thing. It's so cool hearing that. And yeah, they combined so many things in this movie that are cool. You look at Wonderworld, and yeah, on Wonderworld and Uncle Dave, it's supposed to be an amalgamation of Disney World and Walt Disney and whatever. It's supposed to be a spoof off of that or something or whatever. And it kind of is. But I mean, the whole time I'm watching the end of this movie and they're going through the dinosaur land part of it, I'm like, way to go, guys. You're a year removed from Jurassic Park, and I feel nothing but Jurassic Park vibes off of the end of this movie. But no, I don't think I could watch Beverly Hills Cop 3 very often, but I could watch this every couple of years. And it's, I don't know, watching it again it just helped me escape. It was just a nice little, hey, this is what the start of. Technically, it wasn't the start of, because 2 years before this in 92, Eddie did The Distinguished Gentleman. But it was the start of the 90s comedies for Eddie, because after this, he would have Nutty Professor and all of that and everything else. And yeah, I mean, after the reveal of Axel Fox at the end of this movie, and what I love about all of these movies, and I don't remember because I'm right now, because I almost forgot to finish doing it, but right now, like right when we connected to do the recording for this, as you connected, I'm in the middle of the bad helicopter scene in the fourth film where, literally, I say bad helicopter because that's the name of the music track from Lorne Balfe on the soundtrack for Axel F. It's the helicopter scene where Bobby and Axel escape the police station from Grant in the fourth film. So when you connected, I was like, "Yeah, it's a bad helicopter." And you're like, "What?" I'm like, "I'm watching the fourth movie." So but my point in bringing that up is from what I remember, all four movies, at the end of every movie, he always has a look back at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't remember what it is in the first one. I have to go back and watch the first one again. But at the end of the second one, it's he's in the car. He looks back and he's like, "Trust me." At the end of the third one, he's in the wheelchair because Janice is pushing him in the wheelchair. He doesn't say "trust me," but he just kind of looks back, and I got to watch the fourth one. But I love that. I love that signature of that. It's just so good. Yeah. Yeah. Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Well, and it's funny because one of the critics even says the movie isn't nearly as fresh as the first cop flick was, but they actually preferred this over the second film, like saying, I must admit it's a whole lot more enjoyable than the contemptible crash-a-thon known as Beverly Hills Cop 2, and gave it a 3 out of 5. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I can see that.
See, okay. Well, you have anything else you want to say about the movie itself?
No, I mean, I think it's a lot of fun, and it's kind of cool that it's in a theme park.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very cool. It is very fun. It's kind of like, okay, people are going to kill me for saying this, but I don't mean to say this to say that it's bad, but Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 are kind of like Batman and Batman Returns. Beverly Hills Cop 2 is not like Batman Returns in the sense of, ew, penguin flippers and all that gross stuff, but they're darker. Whereas Beverly Hills Cop 3 is kind of like a combination of the brightness of Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. It's supposed to be the comedy, because again, it was 1994. We weren't doing super dark, at least not to my knowledge, at least not to my memory, super dark, gritty, cop stuff then, because I don't remember too much of that. But yeah, so, and again, it was an evolution of the franchise and of the character.
No! Axel, you're on a coffee break. Go get that son of a bitch.
Cop 2 is so ingrained in me. I have seen it so many times, and it is the one I go back to all of the Cop 2 is a movie. Like, if you ever told me, look, Mike, get in this helicopter, we're going to give you this parachute, you're going to jump out over this island, and you're going to be stuck on a desert island with your phone, and the only movie you have on your phone is Beverly Hills Cop 2, and that's the only movie you can watch for the rest of your life. Okay, fine. Like, that's the movie I could watch for the rest of my life. And I would be perfectly fine because I love that movie. And I'm not going to give this a bad rating on our scale at all. I don't want to sit here and tell people that, I can't. I think we need to, and this is more of a conversation off air than it is on air, but I think we need to rewrite some of these descriptions for these ratings. I like the ratings themselves, but some of the way the wording is on some of the descriptions, I think we need to rewrite these, because I would be perfectly fine giving this a 3.5, which is good. But good is described as it's a mixed bag, but the good stuff outweighs the bad.
Which there might be. I could see that with this.
Yeah, but even though, I've watched this twice in the past week and a half because my brain is mush and I need to make sure I can remember the stuff so we can record about it. So, and I'm not complaining about having to watch it twice. I'm just stating a fact that I watched it twice and I enjoyed it both times. And for me to have an uncomfortable moment in a movie to want to rate it lower, for me to sit here and give something
just give it a 4.
No, I know that.
If it had fun and it's got some issues but doesn't ruin your experience.
Yeah, I know.
Then give it a 4.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's going to get a 4.
Because that's how I feel about it. I would give it a 4. I wouldn't give it, a 5 or a 4.5. Because, we're missing Taggart. There's a couple of moment things. But overall, the film fits. It's enjoyable. And I saw comments by, reviewers that they're like, you could throw it in the 90s and put anybody in there and make it an action movie and not be Beverly Hills Cop. And I'm like, okay, well, same could be said for any of the Die Hard films.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's... Because Die Hard was specifically not written for John McClane. They shoehorned him in.
Yeah.
So
yeah, sure.
It's it's not there's worse films that I would not go back to. And majority of the late 80s, early 90s stuff to mid 90s stuff, it's all perfectly re-enjoyable for rewatch. Even though they're old, they don't look dated, they don't look forced, they're fun. It's not like trying to revisit something 20, 25 years later, like Dumb and Dumber, and doing another sequel, or where it was just this is terrible, this doesn't even Beverly Hills Cop 4, Eddie Murphy was very I'm not doing this unless it's good.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that brings up a good point where nobody sets out to make something bad. Why would you set yourself up for failure? Why would you sit there and say, I want to make a bad movie. I want to make a bad podcast. I want to do this. Now it's a whole different thing if you want to sit there and say, I want to make a podcast reviewing movies that are bad. That's different. That's subjective. That's whatever. But no one's going to ever sit there and say that they want to sit there and make something that is bad about anything. So, but 4 for Beverly Hills Cop 3. Overall, the entire franchise for me, I think 1 and 3 are 4 out of 5. And then for me personally, 2 and 4, Beverly Hills Cop 2 and 4 are 5s for me personally, because I love both those films. I can't get enough of Beverly Hills Cop 2 and 4. So I like the evens a lot, and I like the odds a little. So
I can see that.
Yep. All right, folks. The one thing that I will ask now is, would we recommend this film to people? Yes, I would recommend people try to give this a rewatch. I would say rewatch the first 3. I would rewatch the entire franchise, because literally as soon as I finished watching the third movie on the second when I watched this in order to prepare for the podcast, like I said earlier in the show, the very next thing I did was go to Netflix and start watching Axel F, the 4th film, which is why I'm in the middle of it right now. So, yes, I would say give Beverly Hills Cop 3 another shot. Are you itching to watch the next film now? What I'm itching to watch now is if they ever do a fifth. I don't think they need to. The ending to 4 was perfectly fine, but if they ever did another one, I'll be there. Anything else you'd like to say? Anything you want to promote?
No, I mean, I think this series is great as is. Doesn't necessarily need another one, but it was nice to have a fourth one after so many years. As for myself, just kind of working on different stuff with the website.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. Coming up next, we have got, finally, these were recorded months and months and months ago, but we have 4, 5, 6, how many? Math is bad. Episode 155 to 159 will be episodes of 12 months of Star Wars. David Draper and I, as I said, we recorded these months ago. We did, since holidays are coming up, we reviewed A Disturbance in the Force, which is all about the holiday special. And then we reviewed Andor Season 2. So we've got 4 parts for Andor Season 2. So we did that. And then hopefully I can get my buddy Sean back on for the 25th anniversary for Gone in 60 Seconds. And then Steve and I will be back for 48 hours and another 48 hours. And after that, I don't know. So that's what the plan is so far. So there you go. That's the teaser for the podcast. You can reach us on geekcastradio.com. You can buy our merch on shop.geekcastradio.com. You can send us email, feedback@geekcastradio.com. In case you didn't know, folks, geekcastradio.com has it all. You can find us on any of the podcasting clients you choose to use, like Apple or Spotify or any of that kind of stuff. You can join our GCRN Discord. The link will be in the post on the website. You can join us next time. As I said, A Disturbance in the Force begins 12 months of Star Wars. For now, I am TFG1Mike with
Steve Megatron.
You'll hear us back in the studio soon.
And in 94, but this place has changed a bit.
You guys okay?
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
I wonder what time the park opens.
He needs medical attention. Does this hurt?